USC, JuJu Watkins gives Los Angeles 2 hours of joy in win over Penn State. In front of a home crowd that needed some semblance of normalcy amid LA fires, as Cheryl Miller put it, Watkins dazzled with 35 points on 13 of 15 shooting in their 95-73 win over Penn State. Los Angeles, a few days before Cherry Nelson was set to be honored on the hardwood at the Galen Center, her mother Irene lost her home. It sat, once, on the intersection of North Fair Oaks Avenue and Pine Street in Altadena. That was before the nightmare. It was probably up in the air, as USC women's head coach Lindsay Gottlieb put it, if Nelson was going to come on Sunday night. Alumni were driving in from parts of Southern California and flying in from parts of the United States for a nod to the program's long history at halftime of USC's game against Penn State. Nelson, once USC's all-time single-game points leader before JuJu Watkins shattered it last year at Stanford, was a valued guest. Tragedy simply seemed ready to get in the way, but even as wildfires had claimed her home, and those of thousands of her Los Angeles neighbors, 98-year-old Irene wanted to see the women of Troy. So she and Nelson came and sat courtside, filtering in Sunday night with thousands across Southern California that needed some semblance of normalcy, as fellow legend Cheryl Miller put it. Nelson left Sunday night with a show. This USC women's program 16-1, 6-0 Big Ten, pouring their soul onto the hardwood in a 95-73 win over Penn State. She left with a photo with JuJu Watkins, who played perhaps the most transcendent game of her 1.5 seasons of transcendence in a USC jersey, dropping 35 points on 13 of 15 shooting and making her first 11 shots from the floor. And Cherry Nelson left, as many did, with a much-needed smile. "We appreciate the opportunity to help the community in that way," Gottlieb said post-game, to give people 2 hours of joy. Watkins, as her assistant coach Beth Burns marvels, is an artist. She's done her best work, throughout time, when she paints with joy. But joy, recently, has been hard to come by in the only home she's ever known. Outside the Galen Center's walls, on Sunday, her city was suffering. Ash has drifted from Los Angeles sky, and the Palisades and Eaton fires have rampaged. Her own family, even, was forced to temporarily evacuate. All is fine now, as parents Bobby and Sari Watkins told the Southern California News Group. But the some 6,000 that flocked to Galen Sunday night needed to get away from all the craziness of the world right now. As fan Jason Ito said, the people needed a reprieve. And Watkins gave them one. She played likely the best all-around game of her USC career Sunday. A double-double, 35 points, 11 rebounds, 5 steals, and 3 blocks. The true eye-catcher, though, was not the black ink itself, but in the flourish of Watkins' writing. She downshifted on a second-quarter hesitation with mouth agape, ducking through a thicket of Penn State arms for a pro-move finish to put USC up 13 early. She nabbed a steal to end the first half and took off with time waning, finishing through contact for a righty layup to cap off a 15-0 Trojans run before the break. Watkins beaming at a Jumbotron camera as the Galen Center erupted, and fellow star Kiki Ariafin lifted her up in a bear hug. "I think our goal was to just kind of put on a show and entertain people for a couple of hours," Watkins said post-game, part of a thoughtful presser in which she thanked firefighters and pledged philanthropic help to Los Angeles. "And I think I kind of took pride in that as well, in my performance." It's okay, Gottlieb's implored to her team across the past week to focus on basketball. They were safe. On Sunday, USC monitored air quality inside and outside Galen as other games across Los Angeles were postponed or canceled. There were bigger things going on, yes, but Penn State still made the trip to Los Angeles. There was an opportunity, simply, to hone in on their craft in the time they had. That has an importance, as well, in their community, Gottlieb said post-game. And I think they've really bought into that. Sunday wasn't perfect. USC's defense was too often lackadaisical on the interior and letting Penn State hang around for 16 minutes. But freshman Kayla Heckel provided a spark off the bench, with 9 points and 4 assists. And the Trojans pulled away thanks to Watkins and Ariafin, Fatley calling the two the best duo in the country after USC's win over Maryland Wednesday. As visually vibrant as Watkins' game has become, Arifin has become a methodical mechanic in the post, racking up a dominant 28 points on 12 of 18 shooting and feasting inside from the jump. Most in Galen on Sunday knew someone who'd lost something in the past week: Watkins, Fatley, Arifin, Nelson. And there was a sense of unity and distraction, both from those on the floor and those watching.